So at the moment, this filter is flowing very nicely, but how much noise the filter will make will determine how close you put the outlet of the hose to the water. If we put the outlet of the hose much closer to the water, it'll be much quieter, but it won't put as much oxygen in the water, which is not as ideal. So in a perfect world, we leave it the way it is, but if that's too loud, you can certainly make it a lot quieter just by putting that hose closer to the water. So the filter is pumping very well, much better than I expected. I've done a water change on the pond now. I'm currently filling it back up again. It's very, very dirty. I also gave it a good scoop. So I scooped out a whole lot of stuff with the fish net. So moving forward, repeat service would be a great idea. Also, this plant's getting very big. I think trimming that down would let you see a lot more of the pond. So all in all, everything's gone very well. The new filter's all installed. Water's been changed. Lots of sediment has been removed. The waterfall's had a bit of a clean. The waterfall filter has been completely cleaned. So let's call this part one. I would suggest we probably come back in another month or so, because a follow-up service would be a really good idea. It is getting quite late now, so visibility is not ideal, and it is winter, so not the most fun. But a bit more regular services, a bit more regular water changes, a little bit regular water testing. Now I'm very happy with the food quality. You can't really get much better than that. So Spectrum is very, very good food. I'm interested how long you've had that for, considering it looks totally full. So I think a follow-up service in a month would be great. Then moving forward with a pond like this, in a perfect world, a service monthly would be great. In winter, you probably 3 months, you'd get away with it. But it's all relative to the amount of fish you got. Because if you get lots of fish, then more regular services is a good idea. And then it also comes down to how often you backwash the filter. So once again, backwashing the filter is very easy. You just switch that little switch over to backwash, and then you pump that handle up and down until all of the waste comes out clean. Okay, so every 5 centimeters that the pond is raising, now the tap's in there, I'm putting a full dose of prime in. Whenever we top up the pond, if it's only a small top up, it's not the end of the world. But if we're doing a bigger top up, like 5 centimeters or something, we really want a dose of prime. I've also put in a full dose of alkalinity, and I've put in a full dose of GH salts. In a perfect world, I really want these tested, let's say in a week or so, because these may need altering, because I don't want to add too much of these at once. I definitely don't want to shock the fish by adding too much at once. I'd rather add 1 dose and then see how it goes, get a test, and then do another dose before we go putting too much in, because we can shock the fish if we go raising these levels too quickly. So that's been done now. Now, though I couldn't get a really good look at the fish's belly today, because the pond was pretty dirty and I really couldn't get a good view of them, but they really looked quite good. But basically at the end of the day, if we look at the gill plates of the fish, they've got a little bit of a belly like that. That's wonderful. As far as I can see, these fish look pretty good. But we never want the gill plate to go in, otherwise the fish is emaciated and they're not getting enough food. And we definitely don't want them to go out like a big fat belly either. So as far as I can see, these fish look good, but I reserve that opinion until I can see them better. And as far as feeding them is concerned, in winter, you tend to only need to feed the fish about once a week. In summer, it's more like 3 times a week, depending on the amount of fish you got. But once again, quantity is important, and over time, you watch the belly. So if you change your food slightly, how much you feed, then you might wait a month and see if that made a difference. So we don't want to be drastic with any changes we make. And then quality of food is everything, and you can't get better than this. This is very high quality food. So I've just switched it to backwash, and there's the backwash water coming out here, growing out beautifully. So that'll go down to drain. And basically our aim is to backwash the water until the water comes out lovely and clean. And obviously it's going to be lovely and clean now because the filter's not dirty yet. So once again, when you switch that to backwash by switching it that way, so that's backwash, that's normal. Then when it's on backwash, you're going to pump on this, which means pull that handle right up. Like this, like this, like this, like this, like that. Now, I'm having trouble doing it because I'm doing it with one hand. Now, the other thing I need to tell you is that inside this filter is a UV sterilizer. Now, right now, I don't want the UV sterilizer on because I want to let the good bacteria get in the filter. Once the filter's been running for about a month, I then want to plug it in. So that can just plug straight into there and we'll be in business. But right now, I don't want that to be the case because I want the filter off because I want to let the good bacteria get in there. Now the pond's all nice and full again. I had the last dose of prime and away we go. At the moment, once again, the pond looks very dirty still. That is not surprising considering often when I leave a pond, it often looks worse than when I started because everything is disturbed. But that should quickly come good. So, as I said, the water clarity is very bad right now. But as this filter can do its job, and as the good bacteria establishes in that filter, and that'll take 2 to 4 weeks. So we don't expect any results out of that filter for 2 to 4 weeks because we want to let all the good bacteria establish in the filter, and that's why we don't want the UV on. Now in about a month's time, we're going to switch that UV on, which is currently off. That means no more filters, bacteria is likely to get in there, but that's okay because it should be well established. And then having the UV on is what will give us really clear water. And we want to replace the UV tube in there about once a year. That will help reduce any parasites and definitely help to give us nice crystal clear water. But that'll just take time. So we're all good. And this pond should clear up better than ever. And then I think after the next service, particularly in daylight, so by then I should be able to neaten everything up because obviously visibility is getting bad. I should be able to tidy things up a little bit next time I come and try and make poses not look quite as obvious. As it all grows over, you'll hopefully won't notice any of that stuff at all. But yeah, very good filter, bit more regular servicing, it gets very good quality food. Hopefully next time I'll see the fish a bit better, but everything looks really good. So while I'm waiting for the pond to fill up, I've gone and done another water test and it's looking really good now. KH is 4, GH is 4. I definitely want the GH, which is a D hardness. I want that much higher than 4, but I don't want to raise it now. pH is now 7.8. There's a tiny bit of phosphate. That would be just because I disturbed everything. A tiny bit of ammonia and nitrite because I've disturbed everything. A little bit more nitrate because I've disturbed everything. So considering I've disturbed the pond, this is all looking much better. But I really want to get a retest done in about a week and probably a re-service in about a month, and then more regular servicing, and this pond will be really in good shape now.